Welcome to the Kentucky Line. I'm Matt.
And I'm Clifton. And so coming to you tonight after a big win for Kentucky yesterday. Uh, just I thought it was one of the best wins of the season there, Matt. Uh, going to the game, you had that big loss to Vanderbilt, but Kentucky comes out and really controlled the game from the get-go. So what were some of your initial thoughts?
Uh, I, th- I thought I've got a few things here. I was just going to kind of go over. The first thing I wanted to talk about was Chandler. I thought Chandler
Oh, yeah.
uh, just obviously came out and shot lights out. Um, and when as we've said before, when you're making shots, things seem to go well for you. I thought uh, in the first half there, I thought our defense um, really uh, did such a better job on them, especially
Mm-hmm.
uh, this time around. We were really we didn't let the ball screens lead to straight line drives to the basket. I thought we did a really good job of making the ball handler flare out, and we recovered pretty well on those. So I thought, we made it more difficult for them. And the other thing I thought I wanted to give a shout out to our bench play.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought um, we in the first half our bench uh, came in and we kind of did that mass substitution that a
Mm-hmm.
lot of us hate to see, especially when we're up
Yeah.
and playing well. And so my first initial thought, and I don't know about you, was, "Oh no,
Yeah.
um, what's
I
going to
think I may have
happen?"
texted you. I may have said, "Why is he subbing four at a time?"
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, "Oh no," but thank good, thankfully they held it down, man. I thought they played well, and not only did they not lose the lead, but they extended the lead, and so
Mm-hmm.
they gave us some great minutes, and I thought, they definitely deserve credit for coming in and playing well, and then uh, and obviously just as far as for the whole game, Oway kind of did his standard thing that he's been doing most games in the SEC, just you know getting to the basket, and he just played great again. And um, last, Aberdeen continues to play uh, great.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, with I think I saw one turnover in his last four games. I think six. I think is it a 16-1
Yeah.
assist to turnover ratio. So
Yeah.
I mean, you do that kind of stuff, man. That's that's good plan. Plus, he's shooting the ball well. So
Yeah, and he
anyway.
just seems a lot more comfortable in that point guard position to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's. I mean, he's just playing. Uh, I mean, you can't ask for a better play really than what he's been giving us. So
No.
that was. I thought that was. Those are the big keys to that I had written down here.
Yeah, I think you were spot on. I think, it starts and ends kind of that conversation with Chandler. I don't think you can expect that, every game this season, but I think you look and that's the kind of player we can expect him to be next season. Really probably like your second option if you can go in the offseason and go get one kind of stud. I think Chandler is one of those guys, man, that can really he could be all conference next year. And the way he's shooting, the confidence that he has, he's kind of can become that cornerstone and that guy that you can depend on night in and night out. And so he was fantastic. You touched on Aberdeen. Oway is kind of who he is. But another guy I thought was really strong was Marino. The way he was able to kind of go one on one and back to the basket, back guys down. Some guys that were seniors and played a lot of basketball. He kind of held his own on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball. He wasn't abused. And really, this game, if you go back and look, we got abused inside uh, in that game last time. Uh, and that just wasn't the case. I thought Yelovich played a really strong first half. Diapate just brought the energy in the second half, and, it allowed him to have some extended minutes there. But really, I thought everybody did exactly what you needed from them. And in my mind, and I don't know about you, but I think this is probably the best game of the season that they've played all year.
Uh, Definitely. I think collectively, for sure, I think it's the best game we've played from you know your number one man to our ninth
Mm-hmm.
man.
Yeah.
I thought collectively it was great, and nobody, really no one played bad. I mean, I thought we kind of they did the job they needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Garrison, of course, had a couple of hiccups that he's just going to have, but I thought all in all, you couldn't ask for a better performance, and I think it goes to show us again that this team, if we play well, we can beat some people. And I
Yeah.
think that was encouraging for us to be able to beat a good team soundly finally,
Yeah.
and play and kind of play almost from start to finish good ball. I think they had a couple of runs, which is going to happen when you're playing a
Yeah.
good team. So you can't, but to from start to finish, by far the best game we've played all year.
Well, from the get go, I noticed two things, and I think I may have texted you one of them. I just felt like the offense was running some different motions, some different cuts, and different screens than they had been doing. And I thought we got guys open looks from the get go that allowed them to get into the flow of the game a little easier. You got Yelovich, I know, multiple open looks. You got Chandler, several right there at the beginning. And I thought it was just the offense flowed from early on. Uh, and another thing, we pulled away probably, I'll guess, from after the second TV timeout to the last one of the first half. That's where we extended that lead from 8 to 10 to up towards 20, and really just cruised from that point forward. But at the beginning, it was almost like a back and forth game, and we would hit a couple, they would hit a couple. They hit some really tough shots to even stay in the game early.
Hmm.
And
Oh yeah.
the defense was really spectacular, and it really affected Nickel. Tanner, he was able to get a couple, inside that were tough shots. I guess it was the guy that didn't play last time, the Miles kid. He hit some that I know one was open, but he hit a couple really tough shots. And if it weren't for that, this game really gets out of hand from the opening tip. And so, to me, like you said, complete game. And you mentioned Garrison. He did have the hiccup. He The layup was atrocious. The one that he had, he got it back on the next possession. But I noticed something on him yesterday, and that's he's a good passer, but and pay attention to this the next time when the offense is kind of running through him. He's always looking to make the pass that gets him an assist. Like he wants the guy to score off of it. Like a lot
Yeah.
of times he'll freeze up and not pass it just in the flow of the offense. He's always waiting for the guy to cut to the basket and make that like a scoring play. And sometimes you'll see when he's in there, it'll bog down just because he holds the ball and won't pass it through and just let it come back to him. He's always kind of looking for the assist or whatever. It just seems like he's never comfortable just passing through the flow of it. But yeah, great game. I don't really know what else to say. For me, I was shocked. I was worried about this game. I felt like we could win, but never did I think we'd be up by 22. That was the most Vanderbilt's been down to any team this season. And just the way we show that just consistent effort can change this team so drastically in 2 weeks' time. To me, maybe one of the worst two or three efforts in Nashville, but this time against Vanderbilt. It was a 180, and it resulted in a 50-point swing almost on the scoreboard.
Yeah. You said it though. The effort in this game compared to last game is not even in the same stratosphere. But just our defensive effort again on this uh, was just what we have to have. I thought our effort in general was great. That play that Chandler made, diving on the floor there in the second half to uh, uh, that ended up knocking it out of bounds on the other guy. It was just kind of a
Mm-hmm.
loose ball. That's the kind of stuff that I feel like this team lacks consistent
Mm-hmm.
effort like that. And man, I just felt like when we are dialed in like we are yesterday, and you got Aberdeen, because Aberdeen, Chandler, and Oway, when they're dialed in defensively, they play good perimeter defense. I
Oh yeah.
mean, but there's just times when all of them, especially Oway in time at times, or can just kind of get lazy on the closeouts. But man, I thought he played great on ball defense on Miles, um, and uh, it was just sometimes I feel like I'm watching a different team when
Yeah.
we're playing like this. But yeah, I mean, there's I don't really have there's anything negative to say. I thought you couldn't ask for a better effort and outcome.
No, you're 100% right. Well, let's go ahead and then go over and talk about the game coming up Tuesday night, next to last game of the season. And, this is one now, Matt, at Texas A&M, that, you know, a double bye is back on the table for the SEC tournament. And I don't know, there's been several points this season you'd have thought that's impossible. But it's right there on the table. If Kentucky just, take care of business here, if you look at some of the matchups, uh, there's a real shot at it. And so, uh, you're going to have to go and play a good game. To me, this is one that maybe the analytics say Texas A&M has a little bit of an advantage, but if you just go watch them and look who they've beat and versus who they've lost to, I don't feel like Texas A&M is a top tier team in the SEC. Not if Kentucky goes in there with effort and plays. I think this is one I kind of expect Kentucky to win, but that's going to require, what we saw Saturday and, not what we've seen at times from this team.
If we can take care of the ball against A&M, they're the type of team that will uh, get real physical defensively. They're handsy. They'll try to force the issue and try to force turnovers. But if we can take care of the ball, I think that we will have a real good chance to win, or maybe even should win. It's just we get down in some of these road games, man, and we just turn the ball over. Even against South Carolina, we had way too many turnovers, and it's just we have to be able to uh, get our minds right, go down there and get a win on the road. It's going to be tough. I mean, it's going to be tough, but they just lost to Texas at home Saturday, and so they're going to be, wanting to get this one for sure. So we better be ready.
Yeah, I think it all will come down to me. It's Oway. You have AG that is just kind of a powerhouse. He leads them in points and rebounds. Another one of those guys you've heard that name for years, but he's one between like Oway and Diabate when he's in. Uh, Control him. Limit his second chance opportunities on the glass. Limit his scoring, and take advantage of what they give you. And I'm looking forward to the game, and I feel good about it. I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, I have no reason to believe that we're going to go down there and lose. I just the uh, kind of trajectory of the season is giving
Hmm.
me a lot of reservation
Yeah, it does.
with this team. But like I said, if we can take care of the ball, and we're going to have to make some shots. If we go down there and we go 3 of 27 from the 3-point line, then we're going to lose the game more than likely.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and so we're going to have to make some shots and take care of the ball and rebound, because there and I think if we can do those three things well, and we don't have to light it up. I'm not saying we've got to go down, but if we can make some shots, rebound, and limit our turnovers, I really think that we'll win the game.
yeah. You said it, and I think they talked about a lot about that in the game Saturday. this team kind of goes is, they don't turn the ball over. And maybe then, like I said the key was Owe. Maybe it's Aberdeen. If he can keep that up for the season, he's 3-1. If he just holds serve at that, that puts them, I think, in a really good spot. If they make good decisions and take care of the basketball, I'm with you. They've got every opportunity to win. Anything else on this game before we get into a little high school talk?
Only other thing I was going to say is this may be a game where our bench has to be limited severely. Um,
Yeah, I can see that because they're going
this
to be
could be a game
physical.
where we
Yeah,
we could get in trouble.
it's hard for me to imagine this is a game that Jasper is really going to be able to play big minutes in. And you hope that when he comes in, he's not, it's not like the South Carolina game to where you just almost have to immediately take him out. He's unplayable. But this is the type of team you could see being like that because, that's kind of been their MO for years is they're not going to be afraid to be physical with you.
No, and one thing though I do think helps Jasper is him, and it's kind of hard the way our team is set up, but having him in the game at the same time with Aberdeen, I think actually
Mm-hmm.
helps Jasper a little bit. When he's having to play the one against these really physical defenses, he just really struggles. But if he can play off the ball, come in and have Aberdeen be the primary ball handler, I think that can open up some better things for Jasper. But we'll just have to see how it goes. But uh, hopefully Pope is ready to let our horses play, 37 minutes.
Yeah. And that's one other thing, and I touched on this last time, and it's true this one. And Diabate, I guess, he just plays so good in the second half, and kind of that energy when the other team's getting tired can make a big difference. But I would like to see Yelovich get maybe just a couple more minutes. Because to me, he's played really strong here the last couple weeks.
Yeah. Oh, he has. And one thing that I think is really coming along with him is his uh, almost confidence and more, he seems to be more comfortable taking that 3-point shot at the stretch four. And listen, he can make that shot, and he just seems to be in the flow of the game. Sometimes I felt like a lot of times he would shoot it, but he would hesitate just
Mm-hmm.
enough to
Yeah.
where he would just kind of almost throw himself off. Now he's ready to catch and shoot it. Like he's not thinking about it, and that seems to be helping him. Like he catches if he's open, he's just going right up with it. And uh, so yeah, I think he's playing well, and it's all and with that, the thing with Yelovich, it all kind of depends on who the other team has in at
Yeah,
that
that's true.
position because if it's a kind of a smaller top four or a kind of a quicker top four, he just can't guard them,
Yeah, that's
and
true.
it puts you at kind of a bad position. But if he can match up well with that other team's four, having him be that stretch four really opens the rest of the driving lanes up, which we saw in the first half.
Yes.
We were spread out yesterday, and when we could get in the ball into the lane and kick it out to the shot, I mean, we were getting open threes just like almost every possession. So
Yeah. Well, and you just imagine, with him and Chandler on the floor, how wide does that make those driving lanes for Owe and Aberdeen?
yeah, exactly.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the 13th region. So I guess this has been the Saturday morning before the Cats played. Everybody's been waiting for to see this draw for both the boys and the girls, and I thought it kind of played out well for both. With the let's start with the girls' side. So that's actually going to start Monday night. So as you hear this, it's probably tonight, 6 o'clock. Knox Central and Middlesboro opens it up, and then South Laurel and Clay County, and then on Tuesday, North Laurel and Barberville, and Bell County and Whitley. So just out of that bracket, Matt, any games there that kind of stand out to you, or is there does anybody seem like just decisive favorite?
I mean, as far as the decisive favorites, I think you are the Laurel counties.
Yeah.
Um, as far as getting to the championship, uh, I think they're the two best teams in the region, and so it would definitely be an upset if either of those teams lost uh, before the championship. I feel like, um, but yeah, I think South. So I've got South and North winning, and Knox
Hmm.
Central winning that first game, and I think the Bell Whitley game uh, could be um, an interesting one.
Yeah, Bell, the Lamb girl for Bell. I don't know, Whitley, if they've got much good size. If not, they could really struggle because she is a dominant force against some teams. Middlesboro's playing better in that. That Knox Central game. It was a really close game against Bell County in the district championship. But I'm like you. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I think it's going to take a special effort from anybody to knock one of these Laurel County schools out. So if you're picking a winner, who you got, North or South?
I think I'm going South.
All right, I'd say they're probably the favorite. I'm gonna go north just to kind of be different, play devil's advocate. We'll cover our bases that way. One of us may be right unless there's a big upset. But let's go over to the boys' side. I think everybody kind of got what they wanted. Bale and North on opposite ends of the bracket. So you got that for both the boys and the girls. The two favorites are, going to get to play on championship night, not in the semifinals. So you got starting it out Wednesday night at 6 o'clock, Bell County and Clay County, then Pineville and Whitley, North Laurel and Harlan City at Thursday at 6, and then at 7:30, Corbin and Knox Central. So I think several good matchups there. To me, Bell County and North Laurel are the clear favorites. But to me, the most interesting one when you're looking at this bracket, the draw that Bell County got, Clay County, the first round. I texted you immediately. I said, there's some Clay County's had some magic in the 13th region over the years, but that's going to be a big game for Bell and one they can't overlook.
No, definitely can't overlook. That's a sneaky game there, and that's a kind of a scary game for Bell. I think Bell's the better team. Don't get me wrong, and should win the
Yeah,
game, but Clay County is pretty good. I mean, probably the third. I mean, I think the third best team in the region. I think you've got
yeah,
Bell and Laurel and North, and then I think you've got Clay County is
yeah,
is third. I don't think there's much. I don't think there's much dispute over that. But um, they've got some good players, and uh, Bell's just going to have to. It's one of those games where you can't go in thinking, oh, we're going to get to the finals and play
yeah,
North because Clay will sneak up and beat you if you're not careful. They gave North a good game in the district finals, um, so uh, you know, it, like I said, I think Bell will definitely win the game, but they definitely got the didn't get the draw they wanted as far as the first game.
no, no, and just looking at it, the way they took care of business against Harlan City in the district championship. But if you just look at their frame of mind, if that's what they're going to bring into the tournament, I think they're going to be in the right headspace to take care of business against Clay County. I don't know if you got to see the end of the game, but when the game was over, district champions, there was zero celebration. They went over, they shook the people on the bench's hand, they sit down, they went through the handshake line, sit down, got the trophy, and it was it. Like, we knew what we came to do, we took care of business. And so hopefully, they have that same mindset and, can go and make a run. I think everybody wants to see a rematch of that kind of classic overtime game that we got to see a couple weeks ago, I guess on Valentine's Day. I know I'm looking forward to seeing it. Wish the first game wasn't on Wednesday night, church night, but if they get past it, I think you're going to have a full arena down there next Monday for that district championship game. I will say one other thing that's a possibility to me. Corbin is really playing a lot better lately, and I think uh, you know if Bale's kind of, you know, be focused game is the first round, I think there's potential if Corbin, assuming Corbin can get past Knox Central, who took their own upset. Pineville, I don't think anybody had them picked to come out of the 3 seed to win their district, but they did. So Knox Central's in that loser side of the bracket, and they're playing Corbin. But if Corbin wins that, the way they're playing, I could see them at least being competitive against North Laurel.
Yeah, um, definitely. Well, Corbin is playing is they're playing some better, and they've with the uh, they've kind of struggled this year, a lot of the year with scoring the basketball, but
Mm-hmm.
Trey Person has really stepped up as another scoring threat for them. He was the MVP of the district tournament and played just great. And he's just I mean, just in most games, he's going to be the best athlete on the floor. He's just a special kind of athlete type of kid, and he's playing really well. So, I think that they can uh, hold their own with North. But so if North, like you said, North, if they're not ready, they could give them some
Yeah.
trouble. But I still think, I still think it'll be those two when it's all said and done
Okay.
in the
Well, who
finals.
you got winning?
Now the question is if that's what happens, who do you got?
Yeah. Well, I think for me, if Bell County wins Monday night, I think they're region champions. I've, but if to me, if they're going to have a hiccup, it's going to be then. So I'm going to take Bell County to bring home a region championship, something they've not done in a while. I know they've got some young talent, so they're looking to be a force for years to come. But they have their all-time leading scorer, Blake Burnett, now just a great kid and been a great athlete for a long time. And so I'm going to say he ends his career at Rupp Arena.
Yeah, I think I'm going to not disagree with you, just to disagree because I think Bell's going to get it done. Um, I think when it's all said and done, I think they're going to be able to pull it out and get to Rupp Arena. So I also think Bell's going to win.
All right. Well, we'll know a little over a week from now. So one thing about it, I think we should have two good region tournaments here, and just looking forward to that and to the Sweet 16, and before you know, it's going to be conference tournaments be starting this week with some of the smaller conferences. So March is here. It's a great time to be a basketball fan. Anything before we wrap up there, Matt?
No, just excellent game yesterday for the Cats, and let's go get us another one.
That's exactly right. So we need just that consistent effort, and we'll talk to everybody next time. Go Cats.
Go Cats.